Yes guys, how's it going? Alex here from THP, the Hollywood Pass, where we talk about the beautiful game. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the events that have been unfolding at Old Trafford earlier on today. I did plan to do a watch along earlier between Manchester United and Liverpool, but obviously we've had some crazy scenes going on. I'm going to do a short video on the ins and outs of what's been going on. In case you guys haven't seen already, the match between the big hitters in the Premier League was postponed earlier and it will be rescheduled at a later date. Anyway guys, hope you're doing well. Like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe if you're new. Let's get straight into it. This afternoon's match between the Red Devils and the defending champions Liverpool was postponed due to safety and security concerns. This was a joint decision amongst the authorities, the Premier League and both clubs, in which they were taking all the players, staff and officials' safety into concern. And obviously that is paramount in times like this. I mean, chaos originally broke outside Old Trafford in the upcoming hours to kick off, which did seem to be quite peaceful. But this indeed intensified when around 200 fans swarmed onto the Old Trafford turf in a quite remarkable situation. Understandably, there will be security question marks raised over how all these fans were able to gain access to the pitch so easily, in my opinion. Green and gold flares were present in and outside of the stadium, which do represent the first strips that Man United had back when they were called Newton Heath. Now, friction has been building in the United fan base against the Glazer family for a number of years now, but this has absolutely exploded in the United fan base and also the top 6 clubs that were declared that they were going to be joining the European Super League when talks were commencing. Now, obviously, since the European Super League has been announced, the hatred and the friction between the Man United fan base and the Glazer family has just really spiraled out of control. And obviously this has seen the events today that have happened before such a big game in the English Premier League. Since the dramatic collapse of the European Super League last month, a number of Big Six teams' fan bases have launched protests against their respective owners, such as the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal. I was shocked that the game was actually postponed, to be honest. I mean, although there was a lot of disturbance in and around Old Trafford, and obviously the team buses had to get from the respective hotels to the stadium, I was more worried really about the Liverpool bus more than anything, with the hostile United fans in and around the ground. But for the game to be called off, for me, really issues a massive statement to the Glazer family and all the respective owners of the Big Six clubs. Fans have had enough really, and they're really starting to voice their opinions now, and they're all coming together as one and unite, and for me that is a good thing to see. Obviously the protests have to be peaceful, and as usual with anything, there is a minority of idiots really that spoil it for everyone else. They're putting you know, a bad press on all of this, because obviously things did happen in the protests, things were being thrown, and there were a minority, like I said, of idiots that spoil it for everyone else. But not getting away from the core reasons as to why this protest was happening. I think it was great that this happened today. I mean, the team lineups had been announced, you know. I thought the game was good to go ahead, and it was going to in due course. Sky was still covering the game, and they were sort of waiting to get that news. But as it stood, the teams never left the hotels. And yeah, the game's just not happened, guys. I mean, guys, like I've said previously, I was shocked really in the manner at the ease that the fans were just able to sort of bypass the Old Trafford security and get onto the pitch. I mean, there's pictures online of like fans in the boardroom. I mean, it's madness, to be honest. I've never seen something like this before. I was watching the Arsenal-Newcastle game before, and I mean, it was interrupted with these pictures coming on the screen. I was shocked. I couldn't quite believe it. I mean, understandably, emotions are running at an all-time high, especially with the top 6 football fan base right now, and supporters are saying enough is enough, and rightly so. You know, I think the protests have to be done peacefully and in, you know, an appropriate manner, and I think all protests can be good if there isn't sort of that minority that keep letting it down all the time. We can't forget the core values as to why this is happening, and hopefully in time there is going to start to be like a direct message going through to these owners, and they're going to start to see what's going on, because I think at the moment they may just be hoping that this is just a thing coming off the back of the European Super League and it will fizzle out in time. But I think it's really important for these clubs to regain the momentum in these protests, you know, with the season finishing and the Euros coming up. I think, you know, let's not get away of what's happened. And I think also these top clubs should still be sanctioned against what's happened, you know. They should not get away free with what happened. leaving the other 14 clubs behind. For me, it's still like, it dazzles me how you pick a top six based on what, history and the ins and outs. You've got teams like Leicester that are fighting, up and in those Champions League spots at the moment. And I think it's just a great insult to the other teams. And, one team goes and the other team follows. And for me, yeah, it really did shake the world of football. So for the protest to be going on at the moment, I think, yeah, like I said, it's a great thing. The protest needs to be peaceful. And yeah, today I think it was a right decision in the end, reflecting on the game being called off. And yeah, onwards and upwards, guys. We're going to enjoy the game this evening against Tottenham Hotspur and Sheffield United. And yeah, let's see what happens going into the upcoming weeks. Guys, thank you very much for tuning into the video. I've been your boy Alex, THP, the Hollywood Pass. Please like the video, guys. Support the channel. It would mean the world to me. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Honestly, it would mean the world. Guys, see you next time, maybe for another football watch along. And guys, take care. Good evening.